What's going on, everybody? Trev Wilson here. Welcome back to the Bourbon Ridge today. Another 12 new whiskeys coming into the market. It's just, I do this once a month, but it just seems like the number of whiskeys keeps going up and up and up. This might be the most amount of new whiskeys coming in a single video. I try and limit. I mean, there's a lot of whiskeys that are announced each time, but this is by far the most I've had in a single video, and I really don't feel like it was that long ago we did the last one. So, a lot of new whiskeys. Let's just get right on into it. There are so many new bottles, some very, very big announcements. Let's get into it. So, the first bottle that we're going to be talking about tonight, Smoke Wagon Rare and Limited, coming back, baby. Now, here's the thing that we got to talk about. This is why we do this. We talk about what is being delivered to us. We talk about the labels that have been submitted to the TTB, what is coming. 777s, okay? So I don't really know what the original Smoke Wagon Rare and Limited, I don't know what the breakdowns of those were, but this one it's a blend of 3 7-year-old single barrel stuff, different mash bills, different whatever, you know, it's rare and limited. So in theory, these were 3 very good 7-year-old barrels going with the 777, but I'm just saying, Smoke Wagon Rare and Limited stuff are typically a lot better than the other Smoke Wagon stuff. I love Smoke Wagon stuff, but the Rare and Limited, usually a bit better. But here's the thing, all 7-year-old, you know, I don't know, compared to what the other ones were, compared to what some of the older uncut unfiltereds were, I just don't know how much 3 7-year-old barrels going into it, like how rare and limited is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be a naysayer. I don't want to be an age-stated chaser, but how much can a 7-year-old blend, like how rare and limited could that be? I think it's gonna taste good. I have faith that it tastes good. I hope it tastes good. I will also say these are very hard to get. All those Smoke Wagon Rare and Limiteds are hard to get. The label is beautiful. Everything about it's really nice. So one can hope. So that's an interesting one. Let's just move on. We have so much to talk about. I don't want to spend too much time on anything. The next one is something we talked about in the last video, and I really didn't know too much about it, but I think this now is more confirmed, judging by the amount of photos we've gotten submitted to the TTB. This is, I'm gonna show you a photo here of just the back of the label, because this explains everything. We talked about Four Roses coming out with each of their recipes as a single barrel. Well, at the time of that video, I only had one photo, and now they have submitted basically all of them. So this particular photo is the OESK single barrel. This is the back of it, just to show the difference. Baking spice, mellow oak, tea leaves, caramel. This just seems like they're taking each of their 10 different concoctions, recipes, and making them into single barrels. Much more so, I think the main takeaway from this is, you know, you could usually only get, you know, OESK, OBSK, all these different letter combinations through their private barrel selection. And now I think they're bringing them to the market to where everyone has a chance to taste each individual thing. Now, I don't know, like, in my takeaway is if you release widespread all 10 single barrels, that's a flood in the market. It's overwhelming. There's no way that you could keep up with that, nor could someone, a person like me, keep up with buying all of, like, you can't just go and buy 10 bottles at one time. I'm talking to you, person who's about to go buy all 10 of these. I'm just saying, you can't expect someone to buy all 10 of them. But I will say, if that is the option, we should have the option. I just don't know how much they could keep up with that kind of demand. That's where I'm going. Like, hey, some of you guys have a problem. Some of you have more money to know what to do with, and you will buy all 10 of them. But how do you supply that demand of 10 different new labels? You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure this might be a limited thing. It might be, I don't know. Nothing on the label talks about distillery only or anything like that. So that's why I bring it up. There's no telling what kind of reach this is going to have, but I thought it was interesting that, yes, it appears that they're making a single barrel of all of their recipes. So let's move on. Let's move to something. There's a couple bottles today that are coming from the same distillery. So let's move on to Barrel. Again, Barrel has made basically all of my videos, as well as a couple of other guys on this same list. The first one, Barrel Foundation. They've done one of these last year, Barrel Foundation. It was also age stated 5 years, but that one also had 5, 6, 9, 11, all sorts of age stated. This is Barrel Foundation Double Barrel. Blend of straight bourbon whiskey is 100 proof. The other one was also 100 proof. This one's also age stated 5 years, but again, that's the lowest age thing in this. This says Barrel Foundation Double Barrel Bourbon exhibits all the complexity that you find in a barrel craft spirits bourbon at a lower proof. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with 100 proof. As you get older, you start going down. I'm just saying. I'm getting old. I'm about to hit 30. And that's old. 23% rye in the mash bill gives a richness to the blend, while the secondary maturation in new oak casks enhances the notes of dark chocolate, leather, dried fruit, and toasted marshmallows. This is a versatile, full-flavored bourbon, perfect for enjoying neat or over ice, blended to never blend in. Blend components. Again, here we go. 8-year-old Kentucky, 5, 6, and 9 Indiana, 8-year-old Tennessee, and a 5 and 6-year-old Maryland. That's why they have to put that it's 5-year age stated, because the lowest aged thing is the age. So all I'll say is the first Barrel Foundation was surprisingly freaking good, and now they're coming out with a double oak. I'm super excited. That's all there is to it. Barrel Foundation. Now, let's move on directly to another barrel bottle, which I don't think I will get. I don't think I'll try it. I don't think a lot of you will try it, but it's crazy they're dropping it, and that's why it's on this list. Barrel Bourbon. Toasted single barrel cask strength bourbon whiskey aged 20 years. With secondary maturation in toasted American oak. Secondary maturation toasted oak. So this is a toasted barrel, 20 years old. Barrel Bourbon has a 20-year-old. Let's go to the back. Let's go to the back and see what they say about it, because they always talk about it. Here you go. Now here's the kicker. This is the big kicker. Distilled in Tennessee, Kentucky, and Indiana. You have to put the lowest aged thing as your age statement. So 20, this could all be 20. But what this tells you is that everything's 20. Everything that went into this was 20. The Tennessee whiskey that went into this was 20, at least. The Kentucky, at least 20. And the Indiana was at least 20. So very high age stated stuff coming from those 3 states. In 2018, Barrel Craft Spirits introduced the first release of a 15-year-old gray label bourbon. Barrel does those gray label high age stuff. Very expensive, but very good. During the production of that bourbon, a portion of the blend was transferred into 9 custom raised American oak barrels that were perfectly toasted to our specification. After resting for 5 years, the first of these unique toasted barrel is ready to share with the world, with the remaining 8 barrels to be released annually. So they will keep doing this. This single barrel is the epitome of an expertly blended bourbon matured in toasted barrel. I don't know. This is going to be very expensive. There's no way it's not. You probably won't get it. I probably won't get it. But, I mean, if you're out there, someone's going to try this. For me, it just showed that's very cool. That's crazy. I'm excited. Maybe. Barrel, hook your boy up. Come on, give me a sample at least. All right, let's move into some, let's just move on to it. I'm gonna talk so much freaking crap about this. Buffalo Trace, coming out with VOP, very oldest procurable. Let's read this. I mean, dude, it's this like our forefathers wrote this. I can't read it. A selection of the finest high-grade whiskey by a distillery with over 200 years of experience, selected for age. This whiskey exemplifies the pinnacle of our craft. Each bottle stands as a testament to our unwavering commitment to quality. Okay, I mean, that's very well written. Uncut and unfiltered. Thank you, Buffalo Trace. Let's do some uncut, unfiltered. Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. 65% alcohol. And I'm like, okay. Like, I mean, Buffalo Trace is pretty cringe as it is. Just like the hype train. But let's go to the back of the label. I mean, you read that. Okay, and you're like, oh my God, what are they about to give us? And they give us this. An extensive search of historic newspapers unearthed a Scotch whiskey called VOP, and no bourbons or bonded whiskeys. In the Buffalo Trace Distillery archives, a 1932 letter from Theo to Albert Blanton names VOP as one of multiple brands listed in a request for United States Patent Office certificates of registration. In a subsequent 1933 letter, Blanton responds that VOP is one of several brands the distillery did not own, quote, but which are used for customers on their bottling orders. What are we getting? What is this? They gave us a story about a Scotch whiskey called Very Oldest Procurable. And then Blanton, you know, the dude with the horse, wrote a letter. And then you're selling you're selling this as a story? It's like they're using the name Very Oldest Procurable to like catch taters. People who just think this is gonna, there's no age statement anywhere. This isn't gonna be the very oldest procurable. This is a freaking money grab. This is a complete scam. I mean, get the dude from ShamWow to sell this. Like, what are we, I didn't even want to put this on here because I didn't even want people to know this exists. This will be a scam. Buffalo Trace is already a scam, dude. They're selling freaking bottles of the same crap for $1,000. Plus, I mean, don't even get me started on like Pappy and stuff. What are we doing? Weller. What is this? I just get it out of my freaking sight. Next bottle. Again, I don't know what to think about it because at this point, I'm kind of reserved. Remus. Series number 1. So this is a new thing that Remus is doing. Master Distiller Experimental Series. Again, going with these words that, like, how much does this mean for the whiskey? Aged in where's Google? Napa cooperage. Oak barrels are backed by 2 centuries of tradition and decades of wood. Winery. It's Napa Valley. It's a wood cooperage in Napa Valley. Their freaking corporate office is in Hot Springs, Arkansas. What? It's not a wine barrel. It's just a specific barrel. It's a specific oak barrel that clearly goes to wineries. So this wasn't finished in wine. It's just barrels made by them. So I don't know. I kind of want to keep reading this website. Like, what goes in? What makes these barrels different? Also, can I go and tour this place? I mean, it's right up the road. So let this be known. We just learned this together. This is just bourbon finished in a different cooperage's barrel. So, hey, as long as this isn't ridiculously priced, I would love to know what it tastes like. 9-year-old Remus surely tastes good. Let's keep moving on. Let's move on to this guy. Is Fanged Pursuit. This label, I honestly didn't even know. Like, I had to start looking at this. This just captured my eye. I had no idea who made this. I kind of gathered by the lettering. I was like, is that them? The art is very cool. This freaking, supposedly, so this is like a bobcat. This is not a jaguar or something. This is like a Kentucky bobcat or something. Fanged Pursuit, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, aged 17 years. Okay, let me repeat that. Kentucky straight bourbon, 17 years, non-chill filtered. It is a bit lower proof, 92 proof. This is Orphan Barrel, Fanged Pursuit, Orphan Barrel. Now, I don't know where they're getting their 17-year-old Kentucky bourbon from. Probably, I would think Orphan Barrel. I think they get a lot of their stuff from Lux Row? No. Hey, it doesn't even matter. 17-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon from Orphan Barrel. I just loved the label. But if you guys like the Orphan Barrel stuff, here you go. I threw this one on there because it's got a freaking cat meowing, just wanting to cuddle. You know, he just wants to come and cuddle you. So let's move on to. I'm gonna save the top 2 for me. I haven't said this at all, so if you've made it this far, like the video. These next 2 bottles are also from the same distillery, so we'll get those out of the way. The first one, Penelope. Again, every single video I do has Penelope on it. This one is Penelope Bourbon, straight bourbon whiskey, weeded, non-chill filtered. So this isn't their 4-grain. So they're known for doing 4-grain stuff. Corn, rye, malted barley, and wheat. 4 grains. This is a weeded bourbon. So that tells me corn, wheat, malted barley. Penelope Weeded Bourbon embodies our commitment to craftsmanship and versatility. With rich sweetness and a hint of spice, it offers a taste for all tastes. The taste of tastes. Whether you're sipping it neat or mixing it into a cocktail. Blended is a cornerstone of our collection. Penelope Weeded delivers an unforgettable bourbon experience. Okay, 95. Hey, I'm excited for it. Penelope does no wrong. Except for I can't get half of their stuff. Penelope, come on, hook me up. Penelope Weeded though. And this appears to be something that they will put out. People will be able to get it. And then moving straight into the other one that I'm super stoked for, Penelope Havana. Straight bourbon whiskey finished in maple syrup and rum barrels. Double cask finish, 110 proof. Penelope Cooper Series takes our straight whiskeys on a world tour, pairing Penelope with unique casks from around the world, inspired by the neon lights. Hence, Havana is in neon lights. Warm, humid nights and mambo beats. Havana marries our straight bourbon whiskey with Caribbean rum casks and maple syrup barrels. Let the flavors transport you to the charm of old Havana. Never been there, but I want to be transported. That's all there is to it. Like I have no freaking clue what that will taste like, and I want it. So, Penelope, come on, hook a brother up. All right, let's move on to the last two bottles that I saved for last because they're just the biggest news to me, and I wanted to make you wait, mother suckers. So let's just pull up one of the biggest news of this whole video. Locally grown whiskey, farmed to showcase the influence of our land, nature as the maker. Star Hill Farm. What is Star Hill Farm? This is a new freaking label, completely different from anything Maker's Mark has done ever. So this is new mash bill, this is new everything. This is brand new, never before done Maker's Mark. This isn't the wood finishing series. This isn't cellar aged. This is an American wheat whiskey. So strictly wheat. This isn't a wheated bourbon. This is wheat whiskey. Majority of this mash bill is wheat, not corn. So it's not a bourbon, it's a wheat whiskey. 2025 release, 61% soft red winter wheat, 20% malted soft red winter wheat, and 19% malted barley. There's no telling what this is going to taste like. This is brand new territory. No idea. Brand new. So there's the front. The back of the label. From the Maker's Mark Distillery, which is called Star Hill Farm. If you didn't know, Maker's Mark Distillery is called Star Hill Farm. Okay? Bam, magic. Embodies our commitment to caring for nature in service of our land and whiskey. Our inaugural release marries two, count them two, all new mash bills. One of soft red winter wheat and malted barley, and another of 100% malted wheat. So they have a mash bill that is like 100% wheat. Carefully matured and bottled at cask strength, this whiskey reveals nature's gift in their truest form, offering a spectrum of soft, sweet, and complex flavors. Blah, blah, blah. This is cool. I think this is finally, for one, they're getting out of their shell of we can only do this thing because, my grandpa's grandpa. You know what? I love tradition. I get it. You gotta get out of your shell a little bit. And I think this is their way of doing it, especially with how much to the land. Like, please, I highly encourage all of you to go and tour their distillery. They tell you all about it. Very, very cool. This is a nice way of honoring what they're doing with the land and stuff. I would imagine this is good. I don't know how. I'm sure it's just going to be another, one-off release from them. So we'll see. But let's move on to the last bottle, which is also from Maker's Mark. The Maker's Mark Wood Finishing Series. This is number 2 of 5, 2025. I thought the Wood Finishing Series, they usually did 2 a year, but it looks like they're going for 1 a year now. They're getting rid of the BRT1, BRT2. No, it's just here's 2024, here's 2025. This is 2025's wood finishing series called the Keepers release. Something I'm just gonna point out because I'm not gonna read it. I put this whole freaking sticker up here, but it says basically the same exact thing as the other one. A bunch of words that tells me nothing. As a matter of fact, most of this tells me nothing. It tells me it comes out January 2025. 10 virgin toasted French oak staves. Whatever. I mean, that's always what it is. It's either American oak or French oak. I've never seen a wood finishing series that's 5 of this, 4 of that. No, it's always 10 of this or 10 of that. And then 111.7 proof. That's all that we're getting from that. It's just mumbo jumbo at this point. It's a bunch of words, it's a bunch of letters on a freaking piece of paper that tells you nothing. And this is coming from a Makers fan. They are word salad. They put so much stuff on their label that tells you nothing. Like, you guys gotta clean this up. Marketing team, clean this up. That being said, I'm sure I'm gonna like this. I'm sure I'm gonna really enjoy it. I'm sure I'm gonna speak highly of it. But there's nothing about this label that tells me anything. It's just words. Look, I love Makers. They gotta figure it out. It's just too much. I've spent all of this time and it's just me ranting. I'm not even reading their label because it's the same exact words as they always say. So like, what are you gonna do? All right, let me wrap it up because I had to reshoot this and I'm freaking drunk. My camera shut off at 30 minutes, so I had to reshoot all of this. Cheers, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know which of these 12 bottles you're excited for. Cheers. I'm freaking done. I'm out of here. I don't even know what I've said. I'm done. I'm out. Bye. Love you guys. See you in the next video.